Hello, and welcome to this completely awesome tutorial which many of you have been anticipating greatly. I posted a few previews on YouTube of this tutorial, and here we can see the 3ds Max scene, which is Tam in I think it's a judo or karate suit, having a battle with, hide selected, with himself in a judo suit. Don't ask why, there's more to the video, but we will be covering the effects in this tutorial, and these are effects. These are the effects. So I'm going to do that, and this. This is the one we're going to be covering in this tutorial. This is going to be like a 3 or 4 part tutorial. Each one would be creating the FumeFX sim for this part of it, one for this part, and one for this part, and then maybe I'll do one which is all of them compositing. So, doesn't that look awesome? This was surprisingly easy to do. It was, very, it's just, slow computers, eh? What are you gonna do? Yep, there's the preview. That's what my size was at. Did take quite a while to sim. I think it was about a minute a frame, which was, on FumeFX terms, that's not a lot, but for me that's ages, because 150 frames, it's like 150 minutes, that's like a film. Could have watched a film. No lights, just normal fire light, and we will cover all of the stuff here and this, and also I just animated this so it follows his hands and it also moves on here, so we're gonna figure out how to do that shizzle. So let's get it, man. Let's get this down, my nizzle. Yeah, let's just no. Okay, let's just carry on. Okay, here we go, new scene. Ta-da! So firstly, we want to get the viewport background so we can see what we're doing. So Alt B, and here we can pick what background we want. So then you go and find it. I'm gonna go find it now because it may take a while. Found it. Okay, so what I did, I just rendered a PNG sequence, no, a JPEG sequence of the video I wanted, and so here it is. And you go to the sequence and you must check sequence so that it animates. Open, make sure that's okay and okay. Now we want to match the bitmap, lock, zoom and pan, and animate background so it moves, and then we click OK, and there it is. So now if we press the full stop key, which is like an arrow, also you can see it moving, because if we just press play it doesn't move, but if we press the arrow you can see everything moves. So what we want to do is just move the grid so it looks like it's on the ground somewhere. There we go. Don't worry about motion tracking, this was a locked off still shot just to make it easier for me. Now, frame rate. We want to change that to 24 frames a second because that's what I used, shot on my DSLR, and I'm just going to set it to 200 just so I can find out where the video stops. So 150, yep, 150. So we're going to set it to 150. There we go. So now, oops, that's our scene set up basically. But first we need to do some geometry. No, we're not doing any maths or anything. We're just going to set up the scene geometry. So we're going to draw a plane. I'm going to press G just to get rid of the grid on the bottom. And we're going to make a sphere because Tam is hiding from the fire in a shield. And we're going to press R and we're just going to scale it around a bit and make it look all fine and dandy. There we go. It doesn't have to be a perfect sphere, it just has to bend round like you can see here. So there we have the things. So now we need a camera. Well, we don't need one, but it helps. just so we can get keep the, in case we accidentally move this perspective, like whoops, I slipped, I can't get it back. Okay, actually can't get that. Damn it. I should have made a camera. Control C. Ah, poo. Press delete on that. I'm just going to reposition that again. I'm an idiot. There we go. Control C. We've now made a camera. Now, do I want to be special and set the lens to whatever lens I was using? An 18mm lens. Then we can move the camera in. Oh dear. The target is way too close. You can see there. So we can just press W and move the target over there. There we go. So now we can press this one again, dolly camera, and then there we go. That's not bad. So now Tam has a shield to fight against. The other Tam. Yeah, it's getting confusing. So now we want to create a FumeFX box thingy majib. There we go. So we're just gonna, if we press Alt W, we can make this viewport bigger. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just drag it out. Now we want to be as economical as possible here. Alt W again to get out. We want to keep the sim time down, but also have a nice high quality sim. So I'm gonna just let the edge of this go over the top of the frame. Also, another thing. The video is anamorphic, so it's this output size here. So we're going to just check that, and I'm just going to set 600 just so we can see it. So if we render that, that's a good size to be working with. So now we can go into here and click Show Save Frames, and we can see where the edge of the frame will be, so we won't get any nasty looking bits clipping off. Now we can just move this across. There we go. So now we want to make the sauce, the ketchup sauce. No, so we want to go to Helpers, FumeFX, Simple Sauce. Simples. My bad. Okay, so we're just gonna drag out a random thing here. There we go. It's already a cylinder. Good. That's what we want. And we want to flip it so it's the other way around. So we can cheat this by clicking mirror. And there we go. Just play around with these until it goes in the right direction. There you go. So now we're just going to move it into place and scale it down. So diameter, we want it smaller, height smaller, diameter smaller, so it looks like it's going to fit in his hand. There we go. Now I'm going to do a very rough animation. Rough. So just set the keys there, just move it on a bit. There we go. Da, 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 da. You can also mess with the rotation as well, just to give it so the fire spreads out more randomly over the shield, which can be good. So let's mess with the rotation. So we press E to bring up the rotation. Just go crazy. Well, don't go too crazy because you don't want it to go crazy, because that's just ridiculous. Keep it simple. That's why we use the simple source. No particles in this. Now I'm going to go to the top view and just, that does not look right. That doesn't look like it's directly in line. It should be on this line here, just so it's opposite him. So we're going to turn off auto key and move it there, and then move it there. There we go. So it still looks like it's in front of his hand, but it's directly in line with the shield, so it goes nice and evenly. So now, because we turned off auto key, all of the keyframes have been moved, because if we had auto key on, only that end keyframe will have moved. So there we go. We can also, so we're just going to turn back auto key on and just mess around with this angle, just so we get more random awesomeness. The green keyframes are rotation keyframes, and the red ones are movement, and then the blue ones are scale. Just thought you'd like to know. Pretty obvious really, but some people might not know. So there we go. Beautiful. I think that's set up nicely. Now it may not attach, like follow his hand properly. I'm just gonna scale the height down just a bit. There we go. It may not stick to his hand correctly, but who cares for this tutorial? It's just a tutorial. You can spend a lot more time on this. Now that size is so low. So low. Also, we need to set a excuse me, output path. This is where FumeFX will store the FumeFX data. All of the FumeFX data so far on this tutorial, on the video you've seen, has been 13 gig. That's not bad. That's not bad. Some have been up. I've done one which has gone up to 100 before. That was insane. So that's set because we don't want it overriding. That should be That should not be over. There we go. Make sure it does it because you don't want to override any old FumeFX simulations. That could get nasty. So let's just see what happens. Absolutely nothing. Because we haven't chosen the source. The simple source. There we go. So now if we do it, absolutely nothing. That's because the steps are too small. Let's put them up to 100. There we go. We have fire. Now that is already shooting out quite a bit. That's good. That's good. But we want it to shoot out even more, so it reaches the shield. Because so far that's only gone up to here. I don't care. So we want it. Oh. Okay, that's good. The directional velocity is set to 20. That's good. That's odd. It was only going halfway and it was set to 20. But anyway, the directional velocity basically makes the fire shoot out in whatever direction the arrow is pointing. If it's selected. If it is radial, it will go in random directions. If it's object, I don't have a clue what it means. But who cares? So that's shooting out nicely. But it's still not going far enough. Also, we need to select this. I'm going to select both the objects in case the fire goes on the floor. So the fire, so FumeFX knows that there's an object there and it has to hit it. Good, good, good. So, a very important value here, burn rate. You can set that to 1, I always do that. Burn rate, the lower it is, the slower it will burn off. So if we set this to 100, extreme example here, and sim that, it will last not long at all. If we set it to 10, it's gonna keep going. So that's good, but we can't actually see that. That's looking tiny. Yeah, I suppose it's okay. And let's just zoom in here so we can see what's going on. Okay, that's a bit weird. So we can see that it's not going too far. So let's set it to. Let's increase the velocity to 35. That value would normally be set to 1, just to let you know. It isn't all. I'm not sure why it was set that high. Okay, I think I may have to increase the steps. Also, I just want to lower this just to speed it up. So let's just do this. I can tell this sim's gonna take a while. There we go. That's looking nice. There's not too many values we have to mess around with for this. It's a simple thing to set up. It's just waiting for this. When I was doing this scene originally, that number was at like a minute each frame, and it was just So let's just see how far that's going. I think that will reach it, but doesn't that look awesome? It's even better when it hits the sphere, because then it will just go around it. So wait for this. There's also a few very important things you have to do when setting this all up as well, which I will get to once this is simmed. Doesn't that look awesome? But it could look even better, because we need to add, by the way, stop lets the frame sim, and then it cancels, cancel just cancels it. I go for stop just to be safe. Exporting channels on the General tab. We're going to click Set and add Velocity. You shall find out later. You know what? I'll let you find out now. Let's just close the FumeFX stuff, and just to be safe, just select everything in the scene. But if your camera's moving, you may just want to select the FumeFX box and source. But I'm just going to select that everything. Right click and go to Object Properties and go to Image Motion Blur. Then we're going to put it down to 0.3 because 1 is just too much, and so that will add motion blur. But if we render this now, preparing, there's no motion blur. But I just checked motion blur. You need to sim it. You need to do a simulation with the velocity channel, which I will do now. That's the material editor. What am I doing? Also, we just want to check object properties and for the plane and the sphere, so it's not renderable. Don't want to see it. And we want to simulate a sim with the velocity channel. Basically, that tells the renderer how fast the fire is moving. So let's just sim that for a bit. There we go. That'll do. And then we can see what this looks like. But still no motion blur, eh? Ooh, dear. So we need to press 8, and this will bring up the environment effects window. Going down to atmosphere and click on FusionWorks. Now we want to create channels. Image motion blur. Now I'm sure that's done now. Why is it not done? Why is there no motion blur? We need to go to Effects, Add Motion Blur. There we go. Ignore all of this shizzle. Now we can render. Shazam! It's there. Now that did look very blurry, so I may put it down to 0.2. If you can hear a beeping, that's my smoke alarm. The battery's fallen out, and it doesn't like it. There we go. That's much better. Me English good, yes. So now we want to make this fire look even more realistic and awesome. So not rendering, but like the movement of it. So we want to go and add some turbulence. Yeah. So we do 1 there. We're gonna do 2 there. We're gonna add a detail to 5. Yeah. Fire creates smoke. Nah, I don't want this to be a smoky looking effect because it's just the burning and the fire we want. So let's sim that again. Excuse me. While this is simulating, I can give you a few updates on the channel and what's happening. Tam has gone to university and is studying web design, I think he is, and graphics. I think it's web design, yeah. So he is quite busy, and I don't think he can put out any tutorials at the moment. He has put out a few Minecraft videos, so he's being very productive. But yeah, he's kind of busy with uni. I'm in my last year of school in 6th form. That's in the UK. You have to be 18. Being 18 is the last school year. Non-compulsory 6th form. It's the last 2 years 6th form. I'm talking about school. Why? I'm in the last year of school. After this, I could go to uni, but I don't want to. I want to find a job. But yeah, I'm in the last year of school, so things are getting busy for me with essays and work and stuff. Also, I'm trying to make films. I've got about 4 film projects on the go at once. Most of them writing. I've just submitted a film to a film competition, which is going to get screened. Huzzah! So things are quite busy for both of us. So tutorials might be coming out a little bit slower. The other parts of this tutorial may come out. I want to get this tutorial, all of it done by the end of the year. That's what I aim to do. I have half term coming up soon, but I'm working in London, booyakasha. So I think I'll have time to put out any tutorials then. But I'm sure we can see what we can do and try and get some tutorials out for you, like I'm doing now. I'm giving up my Sunday morning for you. It's about 25 to 11. I'm not awake, but I'm doing it for you guys because you like that preview so much. I thought I'm going to do that tutorial for them. I'm going to be nice. I dropped a pin. Oh, I'm going to find that later when I step on it. Subscribers, we're getting up to 500. We're up to 570. Things are going good, and we've been monetized. Well, we can put monetized videos on our channel now, which is totally awesome. So you may get ads, just ignore them. You don't have to read them or go on them. It's just nice to have them there. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's been going on. Things are quite hectic. So also, it's my birthday next Wednesday. So yeah, I don't think I'll be doing any tutorials after this one within the next 2 weeks. So I'll try and get this one up as soon as I can. I don't know who I'm telling this to because it will already be on and you'll be watching it. Okay, anyway, I've been talking for 2 minutes and that's looking quite cool. So let's stop it so it renders the next frame. Now I think I must have done double the steps on it. So let's give this a render. Ooh, hello. Now that looks a bit odd. So let's go on the rendering channel, tab, whatever you call it, and go down to fire. Now I have created a special gradient I like to use for this. So not downloads, documents, fire, and that's what it looks like. So you can make something similar to this. You got to click key mode, and then you can add keys and move them around and stuff. Yep, that's my fire. I like to put that into keyless mode and just give it a bit more grey. I'm going to put the opacity up to about 6 or something, and then cast and receive shadows. Excuse me, I had some noodles. Now we go to illumination, multiple scattering, and we'll put the fire up to 10. We don't want the smoke to be in your face. We want the fire to be in your face. Now I've got a feeling. Okay, the smoke is definitely in your face. So we can put this opacity down to 1. So that's what I did before. Now I think the velocity is set too high, so we can change it, because that's very blurry for having 0.2 motion blur. So I'm just going to go down and I'm going to put it back down to 20, because adding on 15 is not a good idea. I might see what. Yeah, that's all good. Let's do another simulation. Let's see what we're doing. Okay, it's looking good. It's looking good. Okay, I like where this is going. Oh, and adding the velocity channel will increase your FumeFX file things, where it stores all the information. For example, I called it tutorial, didn't I? Did I? Are these even getting saved? My goodness, where are these getting saved to? But look at that, 80 meg per frame. 90. Not sure what happens here. Ah, that's the minus frames. That's you can set FumeFX to simulate before the frames have started, so you can so you don't have to get the fire just coming out. It could be already blasting at TAM. So yeah, that's what could happen. Oh wow, that's a big file. Let's see what we've got in here. Yep, quite big. Oh, and there you go, it's spazzed out. Let's give that a cancel. Not the best thing to do. Come on, there we go. Go back a frame because it didn't get a chance to simulate frame 12, and we can see what's happening. So we can see it's looking very small at the moment. Let's just carry on this sim. Yes, I want to. So it does all its... I don't get any of this at all. Memory usage, is that how much RAM I'm using, I'm guessing? It can't be how much storage it's taking up. Okay, that beep is getting really annoying. I'll have to fix that soon. Must be, but that's not bad because I've got 8 gig of RAM and I'm running nothing. So that's all good. Shouldn't crash on me, hopefully. I might pause this and amuse myself somehow with hilarious YouTube videos or something, I don't know, while there's Sims, because what else are you gonna do? God. Right, I'll see you in a bit. Okie dokie do! I did a bit of tweaking because it glitched out, sort of. It turned into a lot of blobs and it just, no. I messed with the steps, the shape. I made it a little bit longer and I increased the velocity to 25 because it wasn't getting to the sphere. So now I'm doing it at a higher step so I don't get any of the glitching out, and I am seeing what it looks like. You know, I'm gonna stop this frame and see what it looks like. Okay, stopping may take a while because it is taking 45 seconds a frame. Ooh, it's doing something. Ooh, what is this madness? This is Sparta, rah! It's a good film. I should do a tutorial on doing the time warp stuff with that. With all the slow-mo, stab! Slow-mo, blood on the floor. Slow-mo, your arm's on fire! I don't remember that happening. Let's see what this looks like. Rendering. Preparing. What are you preparing? There's like 2 objects. And they're nothing. Okay. Okay, that looks good. Good tip. Add motion blur to your FumeFX sims, because it hides the dodgy looking parts to it. Let's just render it again. How long does it take to prepare a sphere and a plane? Come on. Yeah, it will mask or just hide the low quality looking fire. That's what they. This is basically the same settings I used on the actual version of this I did for the video, and yeah, it looks terrible. But if you have motion blur on, it hides it and it looks good. And yes, that's what I'm using. It's up. It's getting higher now. 0.5 gig of RAM. And so you can see what I did. I decreased the burn rate to 5. I closed the rendering window. I clicked on here. I made the height a bit longer and the directional to 25, so it's shooting out a bit more. So I might carry on this sim. It's taking ages, you know. The things I do for you. God, it's quite ridiculous. Let's just do one more frame and we can see how that looks. What can we do for 45 seconds, eh? I wonder. Stop beeping! I don't think you can hear this, but I can. It's quite annoying. What's it doing? Building voxels? How many millions is that? 1, 2, 3. That's 2 million. Oh, here we go. It's getting there. Wish I knew what all this means. Oh, it's going to simulate the next frame. Oh, and it's up to a minute now. Congratulations. You suck. Me, not you. You're awesome. Don't leave me. I can't pause it. I can't pause this recording because the pause button's run off. Literally, I don't know where it's gone. So, my bad. I don't want to cancel it because it often like spikes the RAM and nasty things happen. Nasty things. No, that wasn't a good day. You know what I'm gonna take? I'm gonna risk it for a biscuit. What is it? What's save message to file? Oh no, never mind. I'll wait. Shouldn't be long now. It's just a minute. Don't worry. It's just a minute of your time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Frame. Okay. Oh, there we go. Right. Do a quick render of this frame. And then I think it's done for this tutorial. I don't actually know how long it's got up to. Oh, it's... Oh, there we go. Multiple scattering. Scattering. There we go. And it's good that the burn rate's so low because it you get little chunks of fire flying out, and it creates little bits which look quite cool. Let me find the yes, I was watching Toy Story 3. Let me find shield. That's temp. Okay. Tests. There we go. Here. This is my PNG. Okay. That was okay. Wide. There we go. Okay, that's gonna be over there. So let's say hello. Come on, bigger. So this is what mine looks like normally, and you can see the motion blur has hid the dodginess of some of the frames, which is quite good. Now I didn't set the smoke to be very high because I didn't want it to be. Oh, that looks so good. I'm sorry, because I just didn't want it to be all smoky. There is some smoke there, but you can't see it too much. I think it must have hit the top of the barrier there. Oh no, that's the edge of the frame. Okay, so yeah, once you've simmed it all and this looks good, you render it. So you need to make sure that is not renderable, and we want to render it with an alpha channel. So you could place it on top. So what we want to do is go to render setup. We're going to select the segment. Keep your you can do it in HD if you want, whatever you like. I'm going to save the file, and you make it a PNG sequence. Then you're going to make sure there's an alpha channel. You can. I don't tend to do that. I just leave it at that because it's the best. Interlaced, I leave that as well. Name it, put it somewhere, put it in a file, put it in a folder, a separate folder. Don't put it in like a directory or something. You're just going to fill it all up. I've done that before. It's not good. So you then save it, press the render button, and you're away. Now this shouldn't take too long, so it's all good. So that is it for part 1 of this tutorial, covering the WideShot. Next part, I'm stretching, I'm so sorry. Next part, we shall cover the hand shot. That was the trickiest shot to do out of all of them, just because I spent several days experimenting with different... Oh dear, I've dropped the pin again. I experimented for several days with different sources, like particles, different... Oh, it's terrible. But I eventually got it. Took a damn long time, it didn't all, but it looks good. It's good. So, next tutorial we're going to cover that. Excuse me. And then after that we're going to cover the shield deflection shot. That was a fun thing to do. But you got to be careful because you got to make sure you don't render it at such a low quality. It could look terrible, as I have found out before in the past. So yeah, and then after that we're going to do compositing. I might do that all in one. I love that part because it's the funnest. You can see it all coming together. So there we go. Part 1 of this tutorial done. How long is it? 34 minutes. My goodness, this is going to be long to upload to YouTube. Well, I know what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of the afternoon. Writing an essay. Yep. Yeah. Toodle pip. I've got to stop saying these terrible goodbyes. Laters. Taters.